I'm Black. This is Red. This is Black and Red's official dope movie review. Seen it?
I watched it.
Tell them.
Okay.
Tell them.
So Dope's a little bit under the radar movie here. Couldn't tell you the names of the actors if I wanted to.
Punk ass kids.
Yeah, I've got basically, I'll give it a score first. I give it a 6.7 out of 10. It's not very original, is what I would say, or very realistic, for that matter. I think those would be my two biggest critiques of the movie. But just a brief synopsis of the movie. It stars Malcolm. His name was Malcolm, right?
Yeah.
Malcolm has a high top fade.
That's right.
I like Malcolm right off the bat. Malcolm. So it's modern day. I want to say it's in like Compton or some city in either LA. It's definitely California. Modern day, but Malcolm, this guy he's probably 17. I think they're juniors. So he's a 17-year-old African American, in inner city kind of kid. He's really smart, and he has two friends: a African American girl who's lesbian, and then they have an Indian guy friend. So that's the trio. That's the squad, and they're really into the '90s hip hop scene.
Yeah.
And even in the attire, so they dress like they're Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
They're that. It's very confusing. So it's basically a coming of age story, I'd say. Malcolm's like a genius kid, and he's trying to. It's basically the story of him trying to stay out of trouble, keep his nose clean, because he wants to go to Harvard. Come out from the inner city. His mom, he's a single mother. His mom's a bus driver, as we find out during the movie. Not really spoiler. And so that's without spoiling anything. That's pretty much the synopsis. Is that it's a coming of age story about a young African American male, modern day. But like I said, it doesn't really. Excuse me. It doesn't. Some of the things that are kind of unrealistic. Once I get to spoil, is that things happen in the movie that just wouldn't happen in real life. First off, and then it's just there's a lot of cliches in it, which I just didn't really care for.
I care.
But yeah, go ahead. Obviously, you seem like you disagree, so go ahead. Tell them about it.
Oh man. I'm gonna say it's probably Mad Max.
What?
And it's probably
Nothing to do with Mad Max.
I'm not done yet. It's probably Mad Max.
I'm done. Okay. There was an Indian in it, so you get Slumdog in there or no?
Probably Mad Max followed by.
You don't even know where you're going with this.
I know.
Where
I know I'm going. I know where I'm going. But Dope is one of the top 3 movies out.
Oh, Pitch Perfect 2. It's gotta be top 3.
That's what I was thinking was Pitch Perfect, so I can remember the name of the fucking movie.
That's a great movie.
Dope is probably an 8. Dope is. It's not like it's an original story, but it's a fresh spin on it.
Cliche.
Whatever. This movie is actually very, very good. But if you go watch this movie, if you're sensitive to the N-word,
sure.
Don't do it. But you gotta understand it's an inner city youth, growing up in the ghetto. That language is just it's like the word doesn't matter. But it's good. Definitely check that movie out. It's one of the must-see movies of the year. Flat out.
I mean,
flat out.
I wouldn't go that far.
I would.
Are you gonna synopsis for them with spoilers, or am I gonna do that?
No, man, you got a lot of questions, so I gotta let you do some things. I'm gonna explain them to you why it is what it is.
Okay. Well, first I'm gonna tell them what happens. Oh, I guess I'll go through it as I go through. I'll ask the questions that are pertinent. Okay, so the movie starts. Like I said, I set up this the trio. They're smart kids at this inner city school. They got a band.
Rock band.
And it's a rock band. It's pretty funny. I'm not gonna hate on the rock band. Out of respect, I guess. But they find themselves in a situation where Malcolm gets dope placed into his school bag without him knowing it while they're in a club. Let me run it back just a little bit farther than that. So there's a drug dealer he's a pretty smart little drug dealer guy, probably like 20 years old. And he sees Malcolm, and so he calls Malcolm over, and he's kind of using Malcolm to try to get in the good graces with his girl. His girl's mad at him, so he has Malcolm go talk to his girlfriend. They have this back and forth exchange where Malcolm talks to the girl. The girl tells him what she needs to tell to the drug dealer. And Malcolm's really hitting it off with the girl pretty well. He's been pretty slick. And then that guy invites him to go to the clubs tonight. You know,
It's his
whatever.
birthday, man.
Yeah. He's like, come out to the party. Come party with us. We get to the clubs. The clubs, there's some gang violence. So they try. And so there's some issues there, and the drug dealer knows the police come, so the drug dealer knows he's got dope on him, so he puts it all in Malcolm's bag, because he knows Malcolm will get out safely, because Malcolm's square, no one's going to check his bags. And that's a big thing in the movie too, because their schools, I'll show you the inner city, their schools have metal detectors and drug sniffing dogs, and Malcolm throughout the movie keeps going through, because the black guy, security guard, or policeman, he keeps telling like the dog, he's like, I don't understand what the dog's doing, because he won't even bother to check Malcolm, because he knows Malcolm's this good kid, this nerd, so he just thinks that's pretty funny throughout the movie. But anyways, the gist of it is that Malcolm has this dope. The drug dealer's in jail. He calls him and tells him, I need you to go take it to this guy. But first he gets a call from someone else that tries to steal it, and they spend some time running away from these two bums that are trying to steal the dope. One guy looked like Busta Rhymes.
Need the dope?
But then eventually he gets told by the actual drug dealer, he's take it to this guy. He takes it to this guy, and the guy refuses to take it.
That's right.
First off, so this is my first problem. So I don't know, was it like 50 to 100 grand? It was a lot of dope, and he's telling Malcolm that he needs to sell it.
Yeah.
This young kid who doesn't have anything to do with selling drugs. You're going to leave that much product in his hands instead of taking it back and putting it back in your network. Why is he doing that?
He's probably doing that because the damn drug was probably in circulation or something. He didn't want to get it from this kid, doesn't trust this fucking kid. So he's like, hey man, I want nothing to do with this.
But the kid came and talked to him, so if the police were wired him, he's already involved.
He doesn't want nothing to do with this dope.
No, but he wanted the money.
It's too late.
He wanted the money. No, he explicitly told him to bring back the money.
Too late.
So it made no sense to that. It's like you wouldn't trust some guy who's trying to give you your dope back to sell your dope when he doesn't know what he's doing. So that's the first thing. That's not happening in real life.
Maybe it was a task to see if he wanted to get into Harvard.
He didn't want to though.
Harvard.
No, whatever. So then they start selling the drugs online, and so back to the girl though. So the girl, this is one of the cliches that really pissed me off. So he's supposed to be this smart kid. And then they always do this with the smart kids that are underprivileged. They always have them try to save these women. It's always that way. They're always trying to save the drug dealer's girlfriend. And that's what about this movie too. So I'm like, I don't care about that relationship. He needs to focus on getting himself a girl going somewhere, not being the girlfriend of some drug dealer. That's what she was.
She was hot. Well, for him. She was hot.
He's hung up on that, and it's just
whatever.
I'm tired.
Only 17 years old. She's impressed
I can't
with
give
his
it
style.
8, because that's like right off the bat.
Whatever,
You're trying to sell me a
man.
love story. Whatever.
It is whatever.
Yeah. So I don't care for that. But yeah, so she ends up going to his prom in the end. It's fine, whatever.
She didn't go.
They went to she came to his prom. I spoke truly. She came to his prom, didn't go to it. She came and then she told him to go to the fair or something the next day. I don't know, whatever. But back to the plot. So they're selling drugs, gangbangs, just gangbusters online. Then he comes back and he basically threatens that high-level drug dealer, and it's just like the level that this guy goes to. He throughout the movie he offends guys that you really wouldn't offend. So they get in a beef with his kids at school, and he ends up pulling a gun on them because they try to take his bag and it has the dope or the drug money at the time. And he pulls it on all these guys that all have guns and they're kind of thugs, high school thugs. And then later in the movie they show him they give him respect.
That's right.
And it's like that's not how it works at all. You pull your gun on them and you don't execute right then. Next time they see you, they're gonna kill you.
Chances are.
Because these guys aren't smart guys. They're not thinking, I'm going to risk my life to kill this guy. It's like, no, he's offended me. I have to remedy that situation. So they're going to shoot him. They're low level.
Maybe not.
No, they're definitely going to shoot him. And they're definitely not going to give him respect for pulling a gun on them when they were like going to fight. They were going to beat him up, and then he pulled a gun on them. So that I didn't like that either.
That's because
they didn't have a lot of reality in this movie.
No,
It was
like
like inner city for a smart kid, and it seems like even though it seems like things like should be falling apart, things seem to be working out quite well for our boy Malcolm throughout this movie, despite the fact that the circumstances would indicate that it shouldn't be working out.
What?
Story. Give it a 6.7.
Story is great.
Oh, story's terrible.
It's
I like the acting. I like that it was 90s based in the modern day.
It's fucking great. I can't even explain it. It's really up there as one of the best movies of the year. It's fucking awesome.
It's not.
It is awesome.
It's not up there with Pitch Perfect too.
It is. It's awesome.
It's dropping the ball in key areas.
No way. That movie is awesome. Check it out.
I mean, like
somebody needs to check it out.
It's not bad.
Somebody needs to prove you
it's
wrong.
Definitely.
Somebody needs to check this shit out. No, it is literally one of the best movies out. It probably goes Mad Max, Pitch Perfect 2, fucking dope.
Ah, no, man.
Yeah.
I'd rather watch Ex Machina.
That was different. I like that. So,
trying to think. I mean, yeah, it's in there with the.
It's up there in the 8 range. It's up there in the 8.
Definitely not
it's
that.
Up there in
the
the 8 range.
Like I told you, there's too many cliches in it for me to high. One, he wouldn't be getting away with all the nonsense he's doing without getting shot.
All cliched then, man. Good guys always win. Okay, big dude.
But this is like really out there. The high school kid outsmarts drug dealers.
The guy
doesn't know what he's doing.
A promising Harvard kid. Your kid is borderline a genius, so he's fine. He's fine.
He's not smart enough to. He's not smart enough to come up with a plan that doesn't involve him selling the drugs, though. Can we talk about? Can we be honest about that?
You should have wholesaled.
He sold the drugs, so he risked everything to get a felony drug charge.
Or to get a reference.
To give back. He sold the drugs that weren't even his in the first place. Because the guy told him he had to sell the drugs.
Because
he was threatening his family. It's like, I'm gonna give you your drug. It's in this bag. I'm putting it on your table. I'm going to leave now.
See you.
This is your drugs. I'm not a drug dealer. I'm not experienced in this drugs. You wouldn't give someone new to the drug game $100,000 worth of drugs and tell them to personally sell it.
He's a Harvard promising child. You give it to him.
He didn't give it to him. He had it. And he just wouldn't take it back.
Sell that shit. Bring my money. I give you a reference.
Whatever. Did you have a favorite scene?
Yeah, man. Every time Malcolm was in there with his fucking flat top.
He was in every scene.
I like Malcolm. I like seeing him, man. We got
every scene with Malcolm. Okay.
I like
Charles Black like the 2-hour movie. Okay.
He also liked when he got puked on. He was trying to get some love and got puked on right in the mouth. Right in the mouth. Well, I enjoyed the whole movie, so that's why I can't really tell you the scene. I enjoyed the whole movie. It's flat out one of the best movies. It's good.
Yeah, I can't agree with all that.
You're
like I said, there's too many cliches. I mean,
too many cliches.
The saving the drug dealer's girl. The fact that he's pulling guns on thugs and then not getting killed in return because they would kill him for sure. The fact that he is selling the drugs. Like, this isn't even a cliche, but it's just the fact he's selling drugs that he had no reason to be selling. It wouldn't serve any purpose for him. It was just jeopardizing his whole career for him. It was like, it's going to be a career. He's going to Harvard. He's about to make it rain. He saw he's a good businessman in the movie. He proves he's a good businessman. He's going to sell whatever he's going to sell. I mean, at this point, he could be selling dope. He's like, it worked out so well for him. Maybe he's going to get back to that.
I would have stayed and just sell some dope. It's like at the Boys and Girls Club selling some dope.
But
it's awesome. No, check it out.
I mean, it's a decent movie. I wouldn't go watch it in theaters. I don't think there's any reason you have to go watch it in theaters.
Not really, but
yeah, I mean, I'd catch it.
But they made a great movie, so support it and watch it.
Watch it on TV.
It's
You have anything else you want to say about it? Your third favorite movie of the year?
Go see it, man. Go see it. Go see that shit.
After you just said you probably don't need to see it in theaters, you're gonna tell me to go see it?
Well, I'm saying like you don't need to see. It's not a
nobody's talking about it.
All that kind of stuff. That's because people don't really enjoy good movies. People like.
Like I said, it's a great movie.
It's a great movie. It's a great movie. It's awesome.
Black gives it an 8.
It's an awesome movie.
Did you give it an 8?
Yeah.
I don't remember your score.
Yeah,
you started saying it's Mad Max.
I was trying to say
you're starting to do like it's.
I was actually considering putting Dope ahead of Pitch Perfect 2.
Oh, okay. Well, feel free to do whatever you want, man.
I do.
If this is already jacked up because Mad Max is number 1, as we've discussed in our previous Mad Max video. Mad Max is the most cardboard character in any
Man,
movie.
get outta
He
here,
goes
man.
like,
Mad
I
Max
don't
is
know anything
awesome.
about Mad Max.
Whatever, man. This is
Nothing about him. Name 2 things you know about Mad Max that movie.
He doesn't give a shit.
That's one.
He doesn't give a shit.
That's one.
That's all you need to know.
Okay.
He doesn't give a
They
shit.
can't even name 2 things about the guy.
I like it.
He grunts.
I like it.
We're not even sure if he likes women.
He doesn't give a shit.
But
Rule number 1. Don't
with
give
that,
a shit.
please feel free to leave your comments below and subscribe to the channel.
Dang.